don't really have these sort of official opens to the show, right? Like we just you just with cold opens that like just start to, you know, whatever we were speaking beforehand. Like I'm pretty much off my. I hope I'm not too much off my game in terms of the show, because this is really unusual weather. I'm absolutely soaked. You guys are fine and dry, right?
No, we're used to it. So.
Sure. But at the moment you're pretty...
Yeah, we're alright, aye. You dry guys?
I'm pretty dry, but this is pretty normal.
We're quite dry as people.
It's a dry wit and dry. Do you think that's for compensating the weather? I don't mean... I'm pretty sure like that, you know, people from like your area, like the Glasgow area, are usually complaining about the weather, really, so I don't mean to make this all about the weather, but still, do you think that's a major focal point of people from your part of the world, really?
Well, I suppose we write music that's not exactly the happiest. Cheerful music. It's probably because we're indoors all the time, not out enjoying the sun and stuff like that. So,
we talk about the weather all the time. We complain about it, but not in a kind of. We're used to it, so we're talking about it, and it's definitely. Folk talk about it way more than they talk about it in other countries.
Sure. And do you think that I once actually, well, he's not from there, but I remember two people specifically that I interviewed a long time ago. Actually, one of my all-time first. He's playing over here as well. Stuart from Mogwai. Who's also
a friend.
He's a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And he was just mainly spoke about the weather all during our conversation.
Was it nice weather that day?
Yes, it was. Yes, very, very, very happy. Very happy.
Yeah. Well, he's here. They're playing tomorrow, aren't they?
Playing the day after tomorrow.
On
Saturday. Yeah. So you guys are friends?
We've toured with Mogwai about twice, and then played loads of other shows with them, and they've looked out for us like when we started, and we're like really good friends with them, man.
So it's really nice. That's awesome.
They're one of our favourite bands as well.
Really?
Like they're phenomenal. Like.
When are they playing?
Saturday. We said that.
Saturday, yeah.
I'm staying to watch them.
Cool. So you're not going to Lisbon anymore, maybe?
No, I'm going to Lisbon on Sunday, but.
Sunday, yeah, sure. So you can work around that.
I'm going back to Glasgow where there's nice weather. And I'm not lying.
Strangely, it's sunny there. It's sunny in Glasgow today.
Where are you going?
I don't know actually. London.
Oh, then you're coming up from London.
Yeah, and then we're babysitting.
Really?
Yeah. I just had my first child 4 weeks ago.
Congratulations, fantastic.
So my wife's away having a. Would you call it a baby shower? A baby shower. So she's away.
Called baby showers in Scotland as well as I thought it was like an American.
I think it's quite an American thing, but she's away to get.
No idea how.
She's away to get drunk.
Sorry, what?
She's away to get drunk. So she's not been drunk for like what 10 months now, so she's allowed. She's allowed, right? I'm allowed to do stuff. But me and Andy are going to be looking after my child.
Really? 3 men and a baby. 3 men and a baby. Yeah, he's Steve Guttenberg. I'll be Magnum PI maybe.
Magnum PI. Yeah. This is no Tom Selleck. It's Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck, man. What? If you were there.
Tom Selleck's Magnum PI. So you'd be Ted Danson.
You're Ted Danson.
I would be Ted Danson. Ted Danson's in Lisbon.
Maybe we'll be asking, where's Ted Danson? But he's in Lisbon. He's not in Cheers.
He's in a good place now.
Yeah.
A plug for a show that I have nothing to do with.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then I realised it's that Netflix program.
Exactly. But actually, not an inaccurate placement of characters for you guys. At least visually, it's not the farthest really. You could shave and then just have the mustache.
Like a wee wig hat.
Sure, exactly. Like some sort of carpet thing.
A carpet?
Carpet thing.
I just put carpet on my head.
And You look like Tom Selleck, absolutely.
I'll answer the door about, it's Tom Selleck.
Not Magnum PI.
Magnum, come on in. Come look after my child. Or don't. Leave.
You wouldn't trust your baby to Tom Selleck, I would imagine.
That's the question that I never thought I'd be asked. But,
welcome to the show.
Why not?
He's got one of those kind of moustaches that literally, like, they don't have a border. Like, it starts, you know what I mean? He starts there, and then, like, it's quite a full-on moustache. You're gonna need to get a big bit of carpet.
I didn't think the carpet would go underneath the lip. I mean, just on the top of the head, because
just wrap yourself in a carpet.
Just throw me in the stairs.
Because Andy's already, prepared to Tom Selleck his way.
Do you remember the plot from Three Men and a Baby? They get drugs.
Just babysit?
No, they stash drugs in the baby's
in the car.
It's quite. I watched
We will
it.
not be doing that. With my wife, we are not doing that.
You're going to recreate the entire plot from the film, but without the drugs.
Yeah. Well, I don't like how there was nearly a question mark at the end of that. Without the drugs.
I actually don't remember anything from the movie. I don't remember anything from that movie that's not the
And Stands Up. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course, it still stands up. And there's a sequel.
Yeah.
Three Men and a Little Lady.
Is that the same folk?
Same folk. I think it's
set in
exactly the same thing, but the kid's grown up a little bit.
It's set in the UK. Is it?
How do they always stay in the same place?
What? They don't.
The three guys?
It's all right. Why are they hanging about
I
together?
think they'd be fed up with each other. I suppose we could say the same about ourselves. Why do we always hang about with each other?
We don't live together to look after a Wayne baby.
until now. And now you do. Until next week, then you welcome to a new life.
It's all coming together.
Exactly. The merging between the Twilight Sad and Three Men and a Baby.
Who would have thought?
That's what inspired us in the first place.
Yeah, that's why I got into the music game, so I could be part of Three Men and a Baby, Scottish style.
The name of the show.
The Weather.
Oh, The Weather. Yes. But the show is called Made of Things, and it's based on the idea that something you watch something or read something or listen to something in this case that made you dedicate yourselves to art, which is. It's a to-do. It's not a to-do. It is, but it takes effort really to get a band together and play and really want to do, really want to dedicate yourselves to art and have and do that. But do you guys have that? And apparently,
I think we've answered that question already.
yes, it's the baby. Really, that's what I was going to
so what
my point. Yeah.
So what inspired us to do this?
What made you more than inspiration? It made you go, oh, I want to do that, or I want to do this. If you were doing it yourself,
I was rubbish at everything else, and I don't know. People might say I'm rubbish at this, but
no, you're fine.
Fine. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. 3 out of 5.
You're fine.
You were 2 to 3 out of 10 at most things, and then this you're a 5 or 6.
I didn't mean it like that.
You were just like, oh well, looks like
You guys are okay.
I was terrible, but we're average at this. I don't know. I'll let you go first, Brendan.
No, I think I'm kind of the same. I don't know if there was one thing that I saw that made me want to do this, but it probably was just the fact that, it was something that I did a lot at school, and I was probably more proficient at than other things. I was a terrible drawer. I wanted to be really good at art.
Really?
But I can't draw shit. He's good at art. You can draw.
I haven't in a while, but I might do a wee drawing.
Yeah, he could do you a drawing right now.
Yeah. Maybe not right now, but I will.
Just sketching you like a non-physical sketch. Like there's a talent you have.
Yeah, no, I just think about it.
Projection.
Yeah.
Thinking about drawing.
If you concentrate really hard.
He was a good footballer as well, so you weren't rubbish at everything.
I was a 6 out of 10.
You're a 6 out of 10 footballer as well.
6 out of 10. Yeah. I gave
5.5.
I gave that up pretty quickly though.
Why was that?
Who did you play for?
Two Scottish teams
Silly.
called Hearts and Hibernian.
Hearts of Midlothian.
Yeah.
Did you not play with Liverpool?
Nope.
Bayern Munich?
9.
I thought you did.
You can keep going.
You played with Germany though?
What?
Did you not play with Germany?
Where are you getting that from?
I don't know, I thought you did.
Nope.
Do you guys know each other?
I played in the 1998 World Cup final. Can I remember? I scored an overhead kick.
Aye, see, that's what I mean.
Oh, so you're secretly Michael Ballack or something?
I just Michael Ballack.
Michael Ballack.
Michael Ballack.
Ballack was too easy.
Yeah. Yes. Michael Ballack.
Michael Ballack is fantastic.
Just one singular bollock.
That would be my nickname if I was a footballer.
You would literally kick the bollock.
Yeah.
Oh, he got hit in the balls.
The dog's bollock.
We played football the other night there, and he got hit in the bollocks.
I did. It was just as well I've had my child because I don't think I can have any more.
Did you have anything to do with that, though?
I was
He stood and laughed. That was really good.
Close, so I got to enjoy it.
Enjoyed my pain. Aye, that was great. What is it? It's his fault that I do this because he gave me CDs at school and just went listen to this.
Oh.
So it's his fault.
Which CDs? Of who?
Spice Girls.
Not too bad, actually.
To Become One, pretty good song.
It's a brilliant song.
Well, what did you give me? You just gave me good stuff.
Manic
didn't you?
Street Preachers?
Manic Street Preachers and stuff. That was the first gig. We were at.
I've seen them once. Manic Street Preachers.
My first gig was that I went to see the Manics, and you were there as well, weren't you? But we weren't there together. Or are you?
I went, what, my first? No, I wasn't at that one. My first gig was Meatloaf.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did you not give me any Meatloaf CDs?
Shit, well, I did probably.
Probably put it in the bin.
And,
It's an unusual first gig, I think. At least I think so.
what was your first gig?
Guns N' Roses.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
When night. Yeah, fuck off. I will fuck off eventually. Yes. So it's a 7 out of 10 on that one. I will fuck off. Guns N' Roses, Faith No More, and Soundgarden.
All at the same gig?
Yes.
What year was that?
91.
The fuck?
Yeah, but I should.
didn't go because I was 5.
92, I think. I'm sorry, 92. Yeah. So, but thing is, this is a legendary event in Lisbon and Lisbon rock and roll, in Portuguese rock and roll culture. But it's like it was a problem because after. Thing is, Mike Patton of Faith No More was already during the second show already asking everyone to throw their stuff up on stage. So he was literally up to his knee in bandanas, up to his knees. Like there was this how do you call it? The stage went into the audience.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Like a walkway.
There's a walkway, yeah. So there's a walkway, and he's standing up there for like 5 minutes, like throw your shit up on stage, etc. And etc. especially, etc. Bandanas and water bottles and underwear and everything you could think of. And the thing was that what happened was that Guns N' Roses took like 2 hours after Faith No More. Like the break was 2 hours long.
Cleared the stage and stuff like that.
To get on stage,
yeah.
and so the crowd was getting. This is like a packed stadium. So everyone's getting really mad, and people kept throwing stuff up on stage. At some point, they basically started throwing stuff up on onto the stage again. I'm sorry, I'm very. This is the rain. So Axl Rose, once they started performing, tripped on a big water dildo. I wish that would be even greater.
So
But,
just a big gap opened there, and I just went dildo.
good timing, exactly. No, we welcome that sort of interjections. But he tripped on a big water bottle and ripped his thigh.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he stood.
You ripped your thigh.
He just slit his
Do you mean his trousers or his actual thigh?
his actual thigh.
His thigh ripped open.
Yeah, because he used to sing on with small with charts.
Tiny shorts.
Cycling shorts.
James with
I don't wear them. Fuck it. I like wearing cycling shorts. It's going to be my new thing. Yeah.
You will from now on.
Rip my leg open. Fucking hell, chucking dildos off my face.
He just like had a huge gash. Just to finish the story, like he had a huge gash and sang like 3 songs or 5 songs, with nobody knowing where he was. Like because he was just lying down on singing because apparently he had just a huge gash bleeding, and so they ended up playing like an hour and a half, an hour roughly, just an hour because most of it was waiting, and so. My point was, it wasn't very good.
Wasn't that great? Hopefully your second gig was better that you went to.
Yes, the second gig was Metallica, Suicidal Tendencies, The Cult. Yeah, at the same venue. Yeah.
Fuck off!
Where is this?
This is
Magical place.
You know you can't go now. This is in the 90s.
exactly. There's no. It's I guess the equivalent of a festival nowadays, but full shows. Like Metallica played like 3 hours. Seriously. Like this is Metallica Black Album period, so like '93. So they were still touring the Black Album. So I guess I think it was like 3 hours long, the show. I was like 11 or 12. So
pretty good, but
I've had people to take me. I didn't go myself.
I was saying to him the other day there that my first gig was supposed to be Michael Jackson when I was like 11 or 12.
Me too.
To go and see on the Dangerous tour, but I accidentally I lost my temper and kicked the back door of my house and smashed all the glass in my mum's house.
Emo.
I was so excited for Michael Jackson that I kicked the window and my mum wouldn't let me go to the gig.
So like very emo, like life sucks. I'm not going to.
I don't know. Nah, I don't even know if I was pissed off with it. Well, I must have been pissed off with something. But what can you be pissed off at when you're 11 or 12?
Not 11 or 12. Yeah. Can you be emo at 11 or 12?
I thought that's pre-emo.
Yeah.
That was
I think that's primo.
Primo.
That's definitely primo.
Yeah, we've just invented a genre.
Oh yeah,
Primo. When you can do that as well. Fuck. Weird. Nah, let's do that.
I think it's
that's a shite, to be honest. I'm
really shite. He hates my mom. As a result.
I've never. Well, actually, I seen her crossing the road one time, and he wouldn't let me meet her.
Was that because you were so raging? He'd be like, "You didn't let him go to fucking Michael Jackson."
You know when you're at school, and if there's like certain people that you try and avoid your parents meeting,
I guess
you're like, oh, I don't really know how that's going to go down. That's this guy.
Oh, so you were a troublemaker then?
Yeah.
I got on well with parents, just parents in general.
But then there's that person at school that isn't really trouble at all, but has the aura of being trouble.
Me?
You had the aura of trouble.
Yeah. I was not allowed to go to class trips, anything that was like overnight. They would not let me go.
Right.
And my grades were good.
What did you do?
I had like half-shaved head, like punk boots, punk shirts. I
looked like trouble.
Yeah, and in class I would be like, let's discuss philosophy and politics, and my teachers were like, nah, she's trouble. She's not going anywhere. And I drank a lot.
Okay.
Not in school, no.
We did in school. That's why we have nothing. We cannot qualified for anything else apart from this average band.
No, that's a 7 out of 10 bands. No, because we only invite people on the show that we objectively like. So you guys are fine.
Oh, we're fine.
Solid 6 out of 10.
I'll put that sticker on the front of the new album. It's fine.
That also reminds me of Q Magazine. That whatever they say, I read it like twice. But whatever whichever sort of review they gave, whether it was positive or negative, it always just like 3 out of 5 stars. Like
it was just like, right, that's it, 3.
Not really. They don't really want to commit themselves to a grade. Really, I think.
This could be good. It might be good. Is it good?
No, this album is very solid, but not their best, and so 3 out of 5.
Yeah, the problem with star ratings is like I was chatting about this the other day. There, like if you have a 5-star options, 5-star rating, once you set the bar at a 5-star, and if it's like a phenomenal record, then you're kind of screwed for everyone else. Like, I mean, you spend your whole time going, oh no, but I gave them 5. How do I give everyone else? Oh, they get 2.
And also, you have to at some point. You have to at some point because sorry. Also, you have to give 5 stars at some point because otherwise it's meaningless, right?
Yeah. So occasionally you have to be like,
but nothing's perfect. That's the thing. Yeah. I don't think anything's a 5-star record.
Oh, controversial.
Yes, everything. 2.
Denmark, I think it's in Denmark, they rate everything out of 6.
Really? What's the thinking behind that? Even numbers?
Because they gave too many 5 stars one time. I'm like, oh, there's an album better than that one. Shit.
That sounds like Spinal Tap.
Exactly. Bump up to 11.
This album's so good, we give it 6 stars.
Sometimes it happens though. Like some publications just go like, this just changed the game, so we'll just change our rating system.
They did
rating
the same
systems
thing.
Are shite.
Well, they did the same thing with hotels, didn't they? Dubai turned up and was like, "Oh, our hotels are better than everyone else." So now there's 6-star hotels in Dubai.
I've never been a 6-star hotel.
Well, neither have I, but I know they exist.
5-star either. We're used to 2 stars.
You're used to 7 out of 10.
We're a 2-star hotel kind of band.
Although the hotel we're at just tonight, that's nice. When nice festivals book you get decent hotels, so that makes us feel a little bit better about ourselves. And then we go back to the shit. Yeah.
It's not as gloomy as again we're back to the weather, but like I was going to say actually that once
we bought our swimming outfits and stuff to go in
bikinis,
accessories.
I didn't want to say trunks, speedos.
You really do not want to say trunks because of the shorts and
speedos.
Don't get the thing going.
But we were expecting to be able to have fun in the sun. I said that so convincingly as well. Fun in the sun, but
it's just curious to me that, like, for instance, I've seen a bunch of interviews of you guys, particularly you, James. Like you're saying, oh, and I'm miserable, and I'm miserable and stuff like that. And I once asked Stuart Staples of Cinder Six how serious he was really, and he was like, and the only point during our conversation that he laughed and said, I'm actually very serious. So I'm in practice. But you guys don't seem so miserable, really. It's just like the art just projects the misery.
I suppose that side comes out of us, and then you'd be a bit of a, I don't know, you'd be a bit of a dick if you were like that all the time, eh?
You can be though.
You would have no, I don't know, I just, like it's part of yourself that you just get out, and then that's through there. But, I mean, we're in a band and we're travelling around getting to play places like this. It's like this. What's not to be grateful and good about that? Do you know what I mean? Like, if
oh yeah, guys, don't be dicks. I meant like you can be miserable. I mean,
you can
not
be
dicks.
Yeah, but
you kind of feel like you do this to not be miserable, like because you actually, touring about and hanging out with your friends and playing shows and traveling the world. That's fun. So I think that's like an antidote to being miserable, hanging out.
The people, like, I think it's like if the clowns and like comedians and stuff like that. Whereas on the surface they're out there, they're funny, they're jovial and all that. But behind the scenes they can be really dark, like miserable people. I think maybe we're just the flip, the opposite of that.
Did you just call us clowns?
No, I used to
There's a lot of clown pride, by the way.
I was talking about other people saying that, like clowns as in actual clowns, like, and then like they can be like at the circus and stuff. But then it's like the sad clowns are.
Pennywise.
That's not at all what I was going for.
But that's the clown that makes other people sad. Not sad.
Ronald McDonald.
It's terrifying though, really.
Fucking hell, but it's not like a sad clown. It's like a famous. Is it? I don't know. Am I talking shit?
No, you're right.
But
Clowns are miserable.
Yeah, there you go. It's a new album title. Clowns are miserable.
What's that thing called where you're scared of clowns? That's a phobia.
Shite bag.
We call them shite bags.
Guys, we should talk about music at some point, I guess, because otherwise people can complain.
Let's talk about 3 Men, a Baby, clowns, the weather.
No, for us that's perfect because we think that music speaks for itself. So like. It should, and music and art speaks for itself. So I'm being very serious about this. But art speaks for itself. So we'd rather have artists not speak about objectively their things, because artists are made to make art, not analyze it, really. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So people would just rather speak about other things, and that's more revealing, really, and just about connecting.
We've revealed we're idiots.
I do that daily.
Shit, you've rumbled us.
I do that all the time, so it's fine. No shame. But we should talk at least like a bit about the new album. What can you tell us? Like, this show is not really about facts, but whatever, names, dates, faces.
Can't give you any dates. But can't give you any names, but it's finished. It's finished.
Oh, it has no name. I mean, no names.
It has a name, but I just like, because I don't know what I'm allowed to say about this.
Oh no, it's fine. We don't necessarily look for scoops.
It's done. It's like it's finished. We finished it.
But the songs do have names, right?
They have names, weird ones and stuff like that. But we have names and.
Do they have movie quotes?
Not this time.
Not this time.
Actually, maybe.
What is it? What's
the Dennis one?
Do they have
Dennis the Menace?
Just called Dennis. You remember the wee blonde guy that hung about with Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, Mr. Wilson.
Tune about that.
No, there's not.
We're friends with Lorraine Newman, who's the mom. So hi, Lorraine.
Lorraine who?
Lorraine Newman from Saturday Night Live.
Oh, really? Really?
Yes, it's name dropping. I'm sorry, but she's a friend, so yeah.
Does she stay here?
No, we met.
On the internet?
Yeah, basically, we're online friends. But we are though. We're close online friends. We never met physically, but yeah,
cool.
It's very cool.
Tell her we said hello.
You were tell her right now. This is the quote from 3 Men and a Baby.
No, that's.
I had to call back.
That would have been a good one. Do you even know a quote from that film?
What's that? What are those drugs doing under that baby?
It's a really snappy, memorable quote that is. What are those drugs doing underneath that baby?
Or that child ghost isn't real. Maybe.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah.
What?
The child
ghost.
And there's
Ghost child,
in the actual film there's visions of a ghost in the background, like a real. They caught that. Oh yeah.
Have you seen this?
Are you trying to tell me I've not seen it?
No. You might not notice it really, because it's like
there's a ghost.
It's weird.
It's really weird when there's like a ghost that walks past.
You don't actually think it's a ghost, though, do you? You're a believer.
A believer.
I'm a believer. Am I a believer? Do I believe? You asked me if I believe in ghosts.
I'm gonna slag you if you say aye.
So no that
You do. James does.
James believes in
nobody
ghosts.
else does.
Nobody.
No, that's true.
I would like to. I would like to believe in them. I don't know if I do.
What about a clown ghost?
A clown? Yeah. Okay.
Are you guys going to be able to sleep tonight? After Cloud Ghosts?
No. I like no. I think I would like to believe in ghosts, but I don't know if I do. There you go. That's a sitting on the fence answer for you. He sits on the fence.
And it's the closer. We're done, basically. So there you go. Thanks, guys. Actually, sorry?
Do we have?
What?
We've finished. I'm just trying to think about what I can say about the record.
Oh, sure. Okay.
It's a 3 out of 10.
Yes, a 6. It's fine.
It's fine. It's an okay record.
We recorded it in January in Devon in the south of England. We finished it a few weeks ago, and I think we're all pretty happy with it.
Chris Cody is at Sunset Sound in LA. He mixed it. So that was good to just work with somebody new, really. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else we're.
It's our 5th record. I think it's a good representation of where we are and the things that we've learned as a band up to this point. And I think it's, I know I do always say, oh, it's miserable and all that, but I think that it can be quite dark. But there's some uplifting moments in it. There's a bit of hope in it. And I like that about it, because I think the world needs a little bit of hope these days,
Well, that's your tone. That's the tone of the band, really. It's very it's dark, but it's
hopeful. And I think that comes through. Oh, there he is.
Hi, Johnny.
So I just remember another one. Like there's it's fine, it's okay, and then there's also it's really good for you guys.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
If you like that kind of thing,
Or if someone sees you play a gig, they don't really want to tell you whether they hated the gig. They'll comment on the lights.
Oh, the lights were good. Yeah, you guys are really tight. Fucking thanks. It was shite then, brilliant. Fucking hell.
People don't concentrate enough on music, I think.
Yeah, well, especially these days, there's a lot of people like to hide behind a lot of flashy things to compensate for their shite music.
Oh yeah.
So that's
in pop.
So we don't hide behind anything, but there's maybe one day we'll get some nice lights or something like just a wee sparkler or something like that.
Maybe some clowns.
Some clowns, dance.
Makeup there.
Yeah, maybe some makeup. Well, I thought when this new record we'd step up our image and get maybe some makeup and some. I'm going for the cycling shorts. What are you guys?
You often do that. We'll just stay the same.
Guys, what? I fucking what?
Or hide with pieces of carpet on your head.
Oh yeah, carpet heads.
A bit of carpet, that's me. Yeah.
A bit of carpet. There you go, guys. Thanks so much. We should just do because this also has an audio version. So maybe
Translation.
So
We'll do it. Want us to do it
What he said was.
yes, everything. Just read the transcript and try to pronounce it in Portuguese. Just your names, please.
Yeah, okay. My name is James Graham.
Brendan Smith.
Andy McFarlane.
We're with
Rose.
Yes.
You've got the Axl Rose kind of microphone, Eddie. He's got the microphone.
Has been through a lot, as you can see.
So is Axl Rose. Ripped his leg open apparently.
Now all bloated and possibly a millionaire hermit now. So possibly not for sure.
Then the brakes,
I wouldn't mind being a millionaire helmet.
Helmet? You've got one of them. You've got one of them sorted.
Totally. That's not £1 million. Maybe a millionaire helmet.
Cool. Awesome. So thank you. This is lovely. Cheers, guys.
And now.
And we need a picture, by the way. Yeah.